We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover.
The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up
with the New York Giants.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here.
They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports?
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Giants ready to go to work on offense, and leading them out, their third-year quarterback from Duke, Daniel Jones.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
This Washington defense, Charles, terrific into victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath, maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Jones.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Montez Sweat. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
After that sack, 3rd and long. Tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out.
And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep is Tavon Austin. 5 yards that time on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led by a 3-time Pro Bowler in his 5th season. It's Deshaun Watson.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test the secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, this defense for the Giants, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Pass rusher extraordinaire, D Ford that time, getting the sack.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on 3rd. Watson just beating the play clock. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. The quick feet by Jackson. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun handoff to Booker. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Throwing Jones.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Austin. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Now Watson. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Brown. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
10 yards there. Good for a Washington first down.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, this defense for the Giants, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now this throw caught left side. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think
Matt LaFleur loudly voicing his objections to that previous call. He's going to throw out the red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Here we go. Here we go.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check right 54. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And a short gain here down to the 22. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
Well, this defense for the Giants, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Watson. Forced out to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson.
His first touchdown here in the new campaign.
And Washington has taken a first-quarter lead.
And he moved left there, Charles. Little danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side, went over the middle. Got the 6, though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when they told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
The drive starts with Devontae Booker. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 29, Jones.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down.
So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And this one is incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now Austin. A pretty good return, all things considered, but hold it.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Watson, off play action. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick there on the coverage. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson.
Open man is Antonio Gandy-Golden.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
They run the toss now with Gibson.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the 50, it's Watson. Flushed out right. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. 2nd and 10.
Now it's Watson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Jamin Davis, the rookie first-round pick, in on the tackle. And Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They've got some guys who might need a year or two on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Chase Young in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Washington ready to try again on offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. That's caught.
Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gabby golden.
37 yards.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Well, this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to...
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again.
And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Booker. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
So here is Washington now to take over.
They were victorious over the Chargers last week, and now they work with a lead again here as they come up 1st and 10.
Watson now to throw. That one caught by Gibson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson flush to his right. And this is incomplete.
De'Ami Brown, the intended receiver.
And it'll bring up third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Watson escaping the pressure right. But I think the ball's out, and the Giants have it. It's picked up.
And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw. Jones. Past the 20. Touchdown, Giants.
Hey, get in there,
Kenny Galladay.
His second touchdown on the season.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
And he'll be out right at the 35. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And some room to work. Nifty move. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 33.
64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and if anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good,
Yep.
Backside guys,
Nah.
that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable game.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A gain of 32 that time. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Gibson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Here's Watson. Steps away to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Deshaun Watson with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year.
And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way.
Now a play fake here on first down.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Chase Young able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise.
Now a throw here, hauled in. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
1:55 left to go in the first half of play.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And he's got Booker. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Let's go.
Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now here's a throw that's complete. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
Three yards remain for second down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38.
Chase Young, his second sack of the night. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Jones now on 3rd down.
He wants it all for the end zone.
And that is caught. Got the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Looking to throw. Jones to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd and goal. Jones looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. And now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Austin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And they'll run here with Gibson.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Big Leonard Williams, the one who came in and got him.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Very good as a rookie. Terry McLaurin was even better in 2020. 87 catches for over 1,100 yards. He is definitely wide receiver 1 for the Washington football team.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
On 2nd and very short, Watson. He's going deep for Brown.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
66 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
It's a first down and more for Gibson. Touchdown, Washington! Antonio Gibson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And Washington going to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Hopkins with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. A second down carry for Booker. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On the carry, it's Booker. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. They set up the screen to Booker. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and it blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. Looking for Shepard deep.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Watson on 1st down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. they don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 113 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Watson. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 39 yards. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection.
They'll start out on the ground with Booker. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. On 1st down, it's Watson. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. That catch good for only a couple.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
And Leonard Williams really lived up to his nickname, the Big Cat, in 2020 with a career-high 11.5 sacks for the New York Giants. Remember, he spent his first 4.5 seasons in the NFL with the crosstown New York Jets. Now he's getting it done, still in the Gotham City area.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Left side here, taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
15 yards the pickup, first down Washington.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field, looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Space to run past the 20. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper. 17 yards, first down.
Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I'd get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, and probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Stop your running. Mark 54. Mark 54.
From the red zone now, Watson. That's complete, right around the 8. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, a run with Gibson.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Back to throw, Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes just out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Throwing, Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now Jones throwing on 3rd and long. Shoves him aside. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. It'll be a 39-yard punt, give him a good 10 yards on the return. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing to start the drive. Jones, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
Jones on first down. This one to Slayton over the middle. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Jones now throwing on first down. That's complete to Slayton. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll look to throw again.
He's got Slayton on the slant. 7 yards to pick up there.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. Here's Booker on the catch.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 19.
Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Open man is Galladay, complete. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Gano's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
But Another drive coming up for this Washington offense.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Here's Gibson to start the drive.
Muscles him off. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
130 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And they will take a knee here. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, they used a favorable early schedule